What's up and what's good? Got some fresh water. And I was going to say I had a special guest, but as you can see, she's asleep right now. But that's all good. So what I wanted to talk about today was the concept of justice over apologies. Okay? Now, this is inspired by an incident that just happened in Charlotte, North Carolina last week, I believe. There was this black woman in Charlotte, North Carolina. She went to a beauty supply store. On the way out, she was accused of stealing some merchandise, even though they later found out that she did not steal anything. She was confronted by the Asian man that owned the store. She was tackled, put on the ground, kicked, and put in a headlock, a very brutal headlock that was reminiscent of what Eric Garner went through. Now, afterwards, this man wasn't immediately arrested. He was confronted by the local chapter of the NAACP, and when they were talking to him, they wanted an apology. Yeah, I guess that's fine. But the thing was, they demanded an apology, but not his arrest, which is justice. And we need to talk about that because, look, guys, if you're being oppressed by somebody, and we know when we talk about black communities, we have a lot of businesses owned by outside people who don't have a vested interest in our community, and that has to change. We know that. But when we're talking about an apology, if it's not followed by justice, it does not matter. If someone is oppressing you actively for hundreds of years or whatever, they might make a mistake because they get caught. That's their mistake in their mind. An apology does not make the situation better. It is not prevented from happening in the future. The only way to ensure it does not continue to happen is to seek and demand justice because it is the great equalizer. Now, one day this gentleman might come to his senses and he might realize that what he did was wrong. But we don't have time to be patient and wait for that. I hope he does. And I hope other people who brutalize us, like officers and security guards and whatever, realize that what they do is wrong. But that's for later. Right now, we need justice. So if someone brutalizes you, especially black women who have been brutalized for hundreds of years in this country, we have to seek justice. If someone is bullying your child racially, saying racist things, playing racist songs like what happened in Wake Forest, North Carolina, like what happened in Joliet and New Lenox, Providence, St. Mel, you have to seek justice. Make sure those kids are suspended or expelled and make sure the teachers are punished. Not an apology. What does an apology do? You could just say the word and not mean it. When a business refuses to serve you unless you show some type of identification proving you are a citizen or a resident, like what happened in California with 4 Latina women, you demand justice, not an apology. When your kids are told to go back to Mexico after you win a robotics competition, a team that consists of African Americans and Mexican Americans, you seek justice, not an apology. I just want you all to get this because I'm, of course, a history teacher. I've dealt with the situation. I'm dealing with the situation. And I know history says that your oppressor only speaks the language of money. Primarily, that's why people are oppressed. I can be penalized for something I did not do or for a very small infraction, and they'll get justice in the situation, but they won't ever ask me for an apology. You know why? Because they realize it doesn't matter. The Congress, I can't remember what year, but they apologized for slavery. And what have we gotten as a result? No justice, no reparations. The war on drugs, still around. Police camped out in our neighborhoods all the time, still exists. Mass incarceration still exists. Justice, no apologies. And if you're offended, I'm not sorry.